Nomvula, thank you very much, members of the media. We are now in conversation with the Deputy Secretary General of the African National Congress, the first Deputy Secretary General, Comrade Nomvula Mokonyane. Comrade Nomvula will just say a thing or two, but we're interested in what you have to ask about what the ANC is doing today, and she will elaborate further about it. Comrade DSG.
Thank you very much, Comrade Mahlengi, our national spokesperson, member of the National Executive Committee. Good evening, members of the media and viewers at home. We're here to actually affirm what we had committed in our elections, including in our manifesto, that we have learned the lessons, and one of those lessons is that we have to remain in contact with the people of South Africa. Here today we are demonstrating our affirmation about accountability, where we will use this platform to, amongst others, thank the voters, thank our volunteers, but most importantly also account to the nation how we have fared under these new developments, new challenges, and being able to keep the country together, being able to execute the mandate as it is enshrined in our manifesto. It is about a reflection. It is going to be rolled out from here so that then we go throughout the corners of the country to go back again and account. It's about accountability and the progress made so far.
Thank you, DSG. I think it's as succinct as that. I now open for any questions. I will start to my right. Let me start with Lunga, and then we proceed to Newsroom and SABC.
Thank you very much. My name is Lunga from the Mail and Guardian. DSG, I just want to hear your reflection on the SACP saying that they will not honor the invite because they will not believe what the GNU. And secondly, also, as you are a health leader as well, what do you make about the issues that the DA said about Gauteng and what the DA and the SG said yesterday about the Gauteng changing?
I'm going to take another one.
Yeah, let's take it.
Okay.
Thank you very much. It's the other one from Newsroom Africa. In your reflections, will you also be looking beyond just the party-to-party relations within the GNU, but for instance, issues like the parties attacking some of your leaders, as has been said when you're talking about Deputy President Paul Mashatile, some feel that he's being attacked. The same can be said about Banyaza Lesotho. What are you reflecting in terms of that? And then also just to talk about the health of your branches, because that has also been something that you promised to deal with going forward. How are you faring with that, in particular in the provinces of KZN and Gauteng? And then last one from my side, just give us a sense, if you could, Ms. Mokonyane, about the issue of Obed Bapela and what happened with, him actually going to Morocco. We actually haven't heard you say anything about it, and you wrote that letter. Thank you.
Okay, I think that given the number of questions from Newsroom, I'll hand over to the DSG before we lose our trailers.
Thank you very much. This reflection is about what we're mandated to go and do post the 29th of May. We're mandated to go and improve the way we work. We're mandated to go and accelerate delivery. We're mandated to go and work with everybody that South Africans have voted for. And it is what you all know as the government of national unity. We're also voted to ensure that we leave no one behind. And hence today's platform for us as the African National Congress is a reflection of the first 100 days, and as well as being able to live to what is contained in our manifesto about accountability. As for what each party says and what each party does, remember we're in the GNU not because we have collapsed any party, including the African National Congress. Otherwise, we would have had a report by a collective that constitutes a government of national unity. We remain an independent organization. We are reflecting on what we have been able to do. And most importantly also, we know every political party has its own intentions. We will not allow a situation where individual leaders of the ANC, either at the provincial or at the national level, are pitted against by those who are part of the GNU. They've no damn authority. to make any reflection or make an impression that they can determine who has to lead and how correct we need to constitute. We have seen what the DA does with us in the Western Cape. They've removed us out of 16 municipalities, 9 municipalities. They've gone out to form new coalitions. Even you, members of the media, you've not gone back to them and asked them, why are you doing this outside of the ANC? Conditions dictate, and that does not mean anyone is excluded. And that's the situation with Gauteng, and as well as with the different metros here in the province of Gauteng. The third thing is about the state of our branches and staff. I think you know that the last time we were in a meeting with Gauteng Post KwaZulu-Natal, we resolved that we'll visit all our provinces, dive deeper in reflecting on the state of the organization. A 112-year-old organization, an organization that exists in over 3,000 wards, an organization that has got thousands and thousands of members, can't actually resolve the reflection on the state of the organization within a short period such as end of May until now. We want to reflect seriously into that and have an appreciation as to what needs to be done. We do not want to preempt any feedback that comes also from the different provinces that would also be interacting with. The issue of Comrade Obed Bapela, I don't understand. You say you saw the letter, and I did respond to you that that letter was not meant for you. But now that you found the letter, I have spoken. I have said it. It was a misrepresentation. It was not a mandated position. It was never supposed to be. We have a view on how Morocco relates and how Morocco tries to actually circumvent processes that must be inclusive so that we find peace. At this moment, nobody was mandated by the African National Congress, and hence the ANC has taken a stance in that regard. I think I've tried.
Thank you very much. Yes, you have. More than tried. Thank you, DSG. I'm going to take the second round of hands. I'll start with SABC. I'm going to take my colleague over here, News 24, of course, and Times Live. And then I'll come beside me. Let's just take about 2 or 3.
Samkela Maseko from the SABC. Ms. Mokonyane, are you as the officials of the ANC not worried about the utterances of the Secretary General, William Banula, particularly when it pertains to the battle that is seemingly there between himself and the provincial leadership of the ANC in Gauteng, in particular, Mr. Panyaza Lesufi? Are you not worried? Do you have a discussion around this particular issue, particularly after some of those attacks that he had laced to Panyaza Lesufi yesterday in an interview with another broadcaster within the country? Then lastly, on the issue of your organization and the metro, is the center holding, particularly on the metros? Are you using one particular formula, or is it everyone does whatever they like, particularly looking at how these metros are being constituted? There's no proper governance mechanism to review them and how they are performing. Thank you.
I'm going to want to take this sort of to process this one.
Yeah.
DSG. DSG.
Yes, thank you. Just on the issues that you have raised, the ANC has had an opportunity of meeting with the chairperson of the ANC in Gauteng, as well as having an appreciation of what was said and what was actually interpreted as his utterances. Where we are today, we can safely say the organization is not concerned about what has happened and what is evolving. You can see here today, the chairperson of the ANC in Gauteng will be leading a delegation, branches and structures of the ANC, to come and be part of the reflection, bringing volunteers. And I think for now, we would want to leave all matters to where we had left them last week, that there are no issues between Lutuli National Executive Committee and the Provincial Executive Committee of the ANC in Gauteng. I, unfortunately, have not actually had an opportunity of picking up some insinuations that you are referring to. But for now, there are no organizational issues. If there are issues of personalities, of course, those are issues that we will have to manage so that then they don't flow into the life of the organization.
Just two issues. How would you describe our relationship with Morocco following what happened, the incident that happened? And then South Africa will be filing another motion at the end of the month at the ICJ. Can you just comment on our continued fight for the people of Palestine?
Oh, well, the issue of our relationship with Morocco, we stand with the people of Western Sahara. We support the efforts that have been made in the continent and also amongst our own strategic allies such as Algeria in giving permanent solidarity and support to the people of Western Sahara. At no point has the ANC said there won't be a need for all warring parties to actually come together. Where we are now, we expect everybody to honor the resolutions of the United Nations as well as the position of the AU with regard to Western Sahara. So our position has not changed, and nobody has been mandated to change that position. Our resolutions have not changed. And therefore, up until now, as you are asking me the question, we have no attempt or intention or appetite to plead before Morocco when Morocco has undermined what has been a UN declaration on Western Sahara. The next issue that you asked me, we're not filing another motion. We are presenting, they call them memorials, we are presenting evidence to back up our case in the court. And that evidence is informed by real life in Palestine, real life in Gaza, and of now late what has happened in Iran, what has happened in Lebanon. And remember, it's initiated through the organization that belongs here. And government has been able to make South Africans to have an appreciation. We are sure that we've got a case, and until now, nobody has got any other evidence that is contrary to what our government is able to present before the courts.
You will pardon us, colleagues, the name of the DSG is Nomvula, so you can only imagine. I want to come this side because I've not had a chance to turn.
I didn't ask my question.
Your 10 is coming.
Oh, no, we'll cover this. You didn't ask the question. Okay, I'll come to you. Let me take time.
All right. My name is Tando Maya from the Business Day. Have the political parties within the GNU set up a political council where disputes will be hashed out? I know there's a similar process happening or has happened in government. Where is that process between the political parties? And just on the Morocco issue, South Africa's allies such as Nigeria still maintain trade relations with Morocco despite opposition to Morocco's position in the Western Sahara. Do you think there's a way for South Africa to actually strengthen its trade relations with Morocco, regardless of their position in Western Sahara, such as Algeria? And then number two, I know that the ANC has sanctioned Obed Mapela for the whole Morocco issue, but he was not alone. He was there with other comrades, that's my understanding. Have those comrades also been sanctioned along with him, or he was the only one who was being sanctioned?
Yeah, okay, thanks. I think everybody has a right to associate with whoever, such as Nigeria, Algeria, even ourselves. The issue that you are all interested in is about the stance of the ANC. Obed Mapela and anyone who was part of that delegation was not mandated by us. Two, they were also not mandated by the South African government. That's the bottom line. Any other detail comes after. As I have said, we have been part of those who are saying, let's find a solution. Let's find a solution, and in this instance, the only solution is the respect and the recognition of the resolutions, including the recognition of the people of Western Sahara as a nation and the people that have a right to self-determination. And therefore, I do not think that this poses a question about future trade relations and so on. What we want to remain on is to be consistent with what we stand for. Nobody last week was sent to go and speak on behalf of the ANC. We can't betray the people of Western Sahara, nor can we misrepresent the African National Congress. It's about a misrepresentation. Your issue about the metros and stuff, and I think some can also raised. We have actually said, starting here in the metros, that any composition of a government of local unit must be followed by a plan It must be followed by a plan so that then we do not constitute a government of local unity for the sake of dishing out positions. There has to be an agreement as to what needs to be done. I'm sure you heard the mayor of Tshwane actually responding and explaining that their first priority is for the municipality to reconnect with the people of Tshwane. That's us. The second issue was about improving and accelerating basic services. That's the second one. The third issue is about making Tshwane cooperate and collaborate with all spheres of government. Tshwane, for the past period, was never working together with either the province, even with the central government. Those are the things that come from what we said has to be a plan. And it is precisely because of our own appreciation that it must not just be an allocation of positions. What exactly is the mandate? The dispute and deadlock breaking mechanism. Of course, we've said all these processes through the leaders of the different parties. There will be interaction. So through our office, the SG's office, we are the ones who are leading these negotiations. There's a technical task team also led by Comrade Makura. Our spokesperson is part of those who are managing the messaging on these issues. So yes, this is what we are doing, and we're quite sure that this is the way to go with anyone that we are working with and collaborating with.
Thanks, DSG. I'm rounding to a close. So if anyone wishes to ask, it must be now. DSG, I'm just going to ask you that to raise the camera.
Oh, shit.
Lizega?
Lizega Tando, Times Live, DSG. A couple of questions from me. DSG, we've been talking about metros here in Gauteng, but there's a metro in the Eastern Cape as well, Nelson Mandela Bay, which there's also been focus around whether there's going to be a change in terms of mayoral change. Has the ANC discussed that? DSG, in terms of coalitions framework, has there been discussions within the ANC and its coalition partners, or the GNU partners, as we like to put it, around a framework on coalitions? For instance, to form a coalition, and you've said this on a number of occasions, that you must be applauded as the different political parties that you formed a GNU within a matter of days. Is there a way where different political parties are going to start discussing that? And then we've been hearing that there's a national dialogue, and we haven't heard anything about when exactly is this national dialogue going to take place. Is there any plans around what exactly is going to happen in terms of getting us to that national dialogue?
Okay, thank you very much. I don't know about any issues about PCM. That matter has never been, and it is not yet. Yes, about Nelson Mandela. It's an item that will be before us as and when it is being brought through the right processes, starting with the province. The second issue about the coalition framework. In fact, you will remember we were amongst the first to put that when other people created something that I think the whole nation has forgotten. We had Comrade Deputy President leading a process of putting together a coalition framework. We do believe that they have to be properly managed so that then they do not actually delay delivery, delay decision making. We are also learning from our international friends, such as those from the Scandinavian countries. We have met with various leaders, such as Comrade Lula of Brazil. We are dealing with those issues to ensure that when a framework is then presented, it must not only end with the GNU partners, because in some areas we don't relate with the GNU partners. It must be something that is presented before the people of South Africa and also presented before Parliament, having had public hearings and comments that come from organized and unorganized organizations and civil society. The issue of the national dialogue. Remember, we spoke on the national dialogue prior to the elections. It is going ahead, and we are happy that government is going to work together with many other formations, including foundations to ensure that that dialogue does take place. And watch the space. The President is going to be speaking here tonight.
Thank you very much. I turn to you, my brother.
Thank you. Shannon Merrick's Castle Broadcasting Africa, all protocol observed. The black child are under attack in South Africa. More black children are dying of food poisoning and tuck shops than the number of young people that died during the 1976 uprising. Should the Women's League and the ANC not take and go to the townships and deal with this thing? Because you can't have 5 children dying in a lady in 1 week in Woodford. We can name all the areas. Shouldn't there be a call to say, let's go to these shops and deal with this once and for all? Or should we bury another 100 children next month? Thank you.
I think firstly, I'm happy that you added the ANC, because I was going to say why you think it's a women's league issue, why you men are also not coming on board. So you saved yourself that backlash from me. Look, we appreciate the swift response by our own structures, by the way, of the African National Congress, including the ANC Women's League and the Youth League, that when this incident occurred, not only here, but everywhere, they have been able to step in. This morning, we also saw government coming in an integrated manner to deal with bylaw enforcement, as well as ensuring that they deal with the goods, as well as authority of those that are trading in those areas. This is something that we must also take South Africans along, so that then we do not become the ones who are providing illegal trading in our own yards. We do not become the ones who are affording undocumented traders in our neighborhoods. But of importance exactly is to ensure that bylaws are enforced and regulations are adhered to. Loss of a life, whether 1 or 2, is just not acceptable, and we continue to send our sincere condolences to the families, and also urge everyone who is within our neighborhood who knows what is happening to report that to the relevant authorities.
I think that was the last hand.
Yeah.
The last hand. With that, colleagues, thank you very much. Let us see each other at 5 minutes to 6 when we start with the formal program. Thank you, TSG.